have this really tired BFMS that smoked really bad. It came out of my 1973 SS18. This was the original motor out of it. It was, you know, wasn't really well taken care of. It's got lots of oil all over the top of it. When I got it, the air cleaner that was on the top of this thing was the wrong one, and I think it let a lot of dirt into it. But in one motor dying, it's going to help save another one, because I have the BGMS that goes in my SS18 that needs an oil pan. So what I'm doing to this guy, I'm going to take some parts off of this, mainly the oil pan, but you know, the dipstick and maybe a few other parts. This motor might end up going to a buddy of mine who needs some parts for actually one of my really old tractors, Sarge, who was like my first or second SS16 I ever bought. I sold it years ago and my buddy's rebuilding it right now. So I may give him this block, I'm not sure. I mean, it still ran. It just smoked a lot when it ran, and it didn't have a whole heck of a lot of power. So it definitely needs rings and probably a lot more work than that. So I don't know. These things, even though they tend to wear out over 50 years of neglect and abuse, they're still pretty valuable motors when it comes down to saving parts for other things. So I'm going to strip off what I can. I don't know if I'm going to pull like the heads off of it and keep everything. Right now I have so many Onins. I have another one over there on the floor that came out of that ugly SS16 I got last summer. And then I have another one out of a 76 motor that's sitting on another bench on the other side of my garage that I still haven't finished fixing yet. But I need the oil pan out of this, so what I'm working on now, draining as much of the oil out of it as I can, and it's pretty thick and sludgy. I'm not sure I actually ever did an oil change on this thing. I might have just ran it when I got it, so sometimes flushing it out with a little WD or something helps. Although WD-40 is pretty expensive, I really shouldn't use it to flush this thing out, but I don't have any mineral spirits or anything like that, which would actually work really well too. Actually, I wonder if I do have mineral spirits. I don't think I do, but try to let some of that oil drain out of this thing, and then I'll tip it up on its flywheel and pull the oil pan off. So we'll get to it. That only took about 3 times as long as it should have. There's the oil pan. There's the bottom of the Onan. Sorry, the light's shining in there, but that's one down. Now I gotta do the same thing to this guy. That one's a little bit more dressed. I'm not sure if I want to take all the carbon stuff off it. I might leave it on and just try to change the pan. Actually, I got to take at least the engine tins and the starter off, so maybe I'll get started on that while waiting for the other one to drain a little bit more. Alright, I skipped ahead because nobody wants to watch me take a starter off. I gotta do the same thing to get the oil pan off that I did on the other one. Flip it up on the flywheel gently, but let's get this oil pan off. Yeah, the oil pan on the SS18 was like so tight I almost pulled a muscle trying to get it off. This one is barely even tight, so it's no surprise to me that this one leaks and the other one didn't. Probably will do head gaskets on this while I have it off. It looks like that one was leaking. This one doesn't, but that one definitely looks like it was leaking. So after I do the oil pan gasket and the oil pan, I'll probably do head gasket both sides. Probably should adjust the valves. I don't know if I want to do that on this one or not right now, just because I don't really want to take the intake and everything off. This one, I don't really condone using a screwdriver on gasket surfaces. But once in a while, there is no other way to get it off. There's always another way to get it off. But once in a while when you get frustrated, there we go. This has a sharp edge on it, so it kind of just cuts the gasket enough. Let me get a shirt to stick in there so I don't have oil dripping in the flywheel. And let's pull that oil pan off. That's pretty stinking clean inside. I can still see cross hatching on the cylinder walls. Good motor. And this oil pan is much cleaner than the other one was, unfortunately, because I gotta clean the other one. But like I said, it's soaking in oven cleaner, so I'm gonna bolt this on the SS18 while waiting. And this is just going to be a quick job, but awesome. Oh, good. We don't have to cook supper because we got grasshoppers for dinner now. That's done. I gotta get this one back on, but in the meantime, I gotta scrape the gasket off the bottom of this thing carefully. Luckily, most of the gasket came off already.